there, welcome back to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry. This is Finish It Friday, where we see what I have finished and what you have finished. So, I can only describe this week with a 4-letter word. Yes, I'm going to say a 4-letter word. Rain. All we've had is rain and thunderstorms all week long. And periods of sunshine as well, but mostly rain. So I find myself having to go back into the house because it's going to come a thunderstorm with possible tornadoes, wind, and all of that nasty stuff. So I've been in and out, in and out. I'm exhausted because Blue doesn't like the thunder and the lightning. So if these storms happen in the nighttime when we're supposed to be asleep, yeah, I don't get much sleep. So I'm very tired, but I did get some sewing done this week, and it turned out pretty good. It wasn't a whole menagerie of things like I usually do. I kind of was hyper focused on something, but I did get a little bit of a variety of things done. First of all, Berry Wreath. Berry Wreath is underway. There's my block, my first block. I did all of my cutting this week. All of the fabrics are cut, or at least 99% of them are. And then I made one block all the way through just so that I could see how it went together, and if there was any question about when you go to chain piece or whatever, I would already have that worked out. So this is turning out nice. Now I'm using grunge as my background. I believe it's called Ash, and it has a little bit of blue and purple in it, although you may not be able to see it in this block. If you got up close, you could see it, and the reason I chose that was because of the blues and the burgundies and what all in the rest of the fabrics. So yeah, I think this turned out good. I'm happy with it. It's a little bit more muted and rustic than what the original pattern calls for, but all of the print fabrics are from the pattern. So this is the Berry Wreath pattern from tildasworld.com. You can go on that website and get a free download of that pattern if you would like to try it. It's not too bad. It's mostly a bunch of sew-in flips. There's no applique. It looks like it's appliqued, but it's not. It's all sew-in flips, or like snowballing of either 2 or all 4 sides of the blocks, or the little blocks. So yeah, I got that going on. I got a few little extra pieces there just along the way where I just accidentally made too many or the wrong color or whatever. So I will use those eventually. So Monday, stay tuned for Monday Quilt Chat, because I will have some pointers for you on that pattern. Some things to help you make your cutting out a little bit easier, which way to press your seams and things like that. It doesn't really tell you in the pattern which way to press the seams, which you can't go wrong if you press all the seams open, but I did choose to do some to one side on some of it because the block or the strip, the row, whatever it happened to be, just wanted to go a certain way, and therefore that's what I did. So I'll talk about that pattern a little bit more on Monday, and just some little pointers on that particular pattern and things that might help you too. This is just here because it's here. We've talked about that before. The Batiks blocks, I have 14 made now of this size. This is a 24 by 24-ish block. So I want to do 4 across and 5 down at least. And then, as I mentioned last week, I'm going to be adding one more block on the right hand end of this. So it will be uniform all the way across. I have 14, so only need 6 more blocks to get that, plus adding that extra strip down the one side of blocks. So I am keeping up with that, and I could probably finish this in, I don't know, an hour if I really stuck with it. But I just kind of use that to fill in when I need a break from more complicated things like this. But this is not too bad. Anybody could do this. Anything else? I don't think. I did a little cleaning. Oh, the big news is, and this is big news, I hope you're sitting down, I have processed all of my scraps. I no longer have the laundry sorter for scraps. So I have regained that space, and all of my scraps are processed into either 2.5-inch squares, 5-inch squares, 10-inch squares, or 2.5-inch strips. And I should have a big scrap bag on eBay here pretty soon. You can check the description box on this video to see if I have that out there on eBay. There will be a link for it. If I don't get that done, there will at least be the links for all the other stuff that I have on eBay right now. So some of my little projects that I did for Wednesday videos are out there. Penny auction, if you want to bid on any of those. That auction will finish up on Monday. So there's a few items out there if you want to go check them out and get them out of my sewing room and into your possession. So I appreciate your help with that if it's something you're interested in. And yeah, I think that's about all I got done, other than I swept the floor really good and got it all spick and span and shiny. And I think that's it. My sewing room is very neat right now. I mean, there's stuff everywhere, but it's organized and in its place, and I can just go right to it. So, feeling good about that. So, I have a few submissions of your quilts this week, and I want to go through those. And I think the last one I left off with was Andrea. Andrea had 3 last week, so she said in her email, but I only got the pictures for 2, so she sent that 3rd one, and here it is. And she says, here's my oversized potato chip quilt made from Soya exclusive Vega strips, and the pattern doesn't call for a border, but I found one of the fabrics in the Vegas strip at a local quilt store. This will be a wedding gift, and I think I may use this pattern more often for gifts or donations, as it was fun and simple to sew up. Yes, just start with those 2 squares that are the same size there in the middle, and then just work your way around. Very easy project and perfect for those Vegas strips, isn't it? All right, Becky has a very colorful quilt here. She says, I saw this pattern where someone had made a runner for their bed. I used the 2 blocks and made a toddler quilt. You can't really see it, but it has mermaids in it. It was a great way to use up some jelly roll strips. Yeah, that's interesting. Those are rectangle blocks there put together. Easy enough. I don't see the mermaids, but I do see bears. I think those are bears or lions or something. I do see some critters in there. Yes, lion cubs. That's what they are. I see horses. I see some like safari animals. I do not see the mermaids. But I trust that you are seeing mermaids in this fabric. So good job. I like all that colorfulness to this quilt. Let's see. The next one is from Dolores, and she sent a picture here of some wreath sashes that she made. And if you remember, I have a video out there on how to make a wreath sash. It's super simple, but if you get the measurements right, they fit on a big wreath like this on these 2 doors just perfectly. And I have one out on eBay right now, this red check one, and it's a penny auction if you want to try one out on a wreath before you make one, but it is very easy to make if you want to look that video up. And this is what this person has done. She's used just the plain cream color, and sometimes they monogram those, so that's kind of a decor trend that's on right now. So if you want to make yourself a wreath, sash, or two, there's a video for that. And Dolores made these, and then Dolores also made another quilt. No, she didn't make a quilt. She's working on quilts for her neighbor, who the mother-in-law, had passed away, and she had all these quilt tops, and Dolores is quilting those up for her, and she actually does this on her domestic machine with a meandering stitch, but they always look so cozy. And as you can see here, it's a kind of scrappy style, but you can see those yellow, what are they, parallelograms on there that gives dimension to the pattern. And in some ways it looks just like a zigzag, and in other ways it looks like a cube that's floating. So she got that one finished up for her and put a label on it. And I think she has about 3 or 4 more to do. So Dolores has been busy with those. Pam, she says the top is finished from the Perfect 10 quilt book from Fat Quarter Shop. Very speedy pattern, and loved the book. I love this fabric. I think this is called Botanicals or something like that. I'm not sure. I've seen it before. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I love the is that grunge that you've used there? I've not seen that grunge, if that's what it is, but that black and white background is behind all of your floating blocks, and I like the squares. I like how the squares are featured all upright and in an orderly way. I just really like this. I have some of that fabric. I should do something like this with it. Great job, Pam, giving me ideas. Cassandra, she says, this is a quilt I made using a tutorial from Donna Jordan. This was for my friend of 60 years. She was the person that carried me to all my treatments for breast cancer. One morning on the way, she asked if I saw the peacock, but I didn't. But I knew making a peacock quilt was what I could do for her in appreciation for her support. I quilted it as I'm learning how to use my long arm, and the design I used was peacock plume. There are what I call hiccups or mistakes, but she didn't know it, but loved it. Yes, I can see why she would love that quilt. That is awesome. And good job putting that descriptive label on there. Very good. I love the quilting pattern there. It's beautiful fabric. It's a beautiful panel. I love it. And then Michelle has one. This is a Dalmatian. Let me see if I can find her original. Okay, this is the latest finish from my collection of UFOs from more than 25 years ago. The back is flannel with Dalmatians and fire hydrants. It is my own design and will go to Project Linus. And then she's said that she has some of her UFOs getting finished up from the Longarmer, and then she'll be putting binding on those and showing us those. Wow. Yeah, that's a very old UFO, 25 years ago, but good for you for getting that together. And your design is just as cute as can be. And look, the backing has the Dalmatians on it too. I love it. Good job. All right, so that's what we have for this week. Good job, everyone, on your projects and getting those UFOs out and getting all those projects that have been stowed away for a long time out, like in the case of Dolores, her doing the neighbor's quilts from a long time ago. Some of the fabrics that she's working with are not familiar to either of us at all. So it's proving to be a very interesting project. But all of you have very interesting projects using your own designs, changing up designs, and that's what I like too. Although I have done quilt kits and I have done, you know, patterns in the fabric line that the pattern called for and things like that, I kind of like to mix it up a little bit, like in this case using the grunge instead of one of the fabrics in the line. So you know, you make it your own that way, and that's what I like. I like to make something my own if I can, if I feel brave enough to do it. And I see that a lot of you do that too, so it's very inspiring, and we all appreciate you sending in your photos each week, and I invite you to continue to do that, and look in the description box for the instructions on how to do that, what I will accept and what I will not accept. And we'll just continue this program each Friday for Finish It Friday. So we have the weekend upon us. I hope you have things planned to do in your sewing room. I know I always do. And until then, stay busy. Well, until Monday. I will see you again on Monday. And then Wednesday, we'll be talking about our sew along coming up pretty soon. So there you have it. That's what I have for you today, and I hope the rain is over, and I hope all of you survived all of the storms that were all over the United States. So wherever you live, I don't know what's going on in other countries, but I hope all of you are safe and sound after this very busy spring of, yes, that 4-letter word, rain. All right, we'll see you soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.